Dear Chosen One, if you are hearing these words, know this. Nothing is by chance. Invisible forces are already at work and understand your pain. At this very moment, something extraordinary is preparing to change your destiny here. See, nothing in this story is accidental. Your purpose is calling, and every obstacle reveals a sign for your elevation now. The demon sent to test you underestimated the faith burning within you, thought it would win, and ended up confronting the divine spark that resides in those who dare to rise against the darkness. If you have perceived this call, understand. There are no coincidences, only sacred designs touching your heart. The change that approaches brings urgency. Every second matters, because your soul was crafted to triumph where so many fall. Rise now, for this is no longer just a simple story. It is your very destiny. Therefore, manifest right now by writing 777 in the comments, declaring your readiness to transform pain into strength and rise stronger than ever. The moment is now, and your soul already knows the way. Show the universe that you are ready to embrace your destiny with courage. And take advantage of this moment. Leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any vital revelations. Chosen One, there is a powerful reason this message has reached you. The pain you carried was not in vain. Every scar tells a chapter of overcoming, and your past defeats were training for now. While many sleep in illusion, your spirit has awakened to see beyond the veil. This demon sniffed out your insecurities, but did not anticipate the strength that blossoms where hope insists on breathing. You were forged to see the hidden truth, to refuse the fear that paralyzes unwary hearts. In this confrontation, your faith is not a mere detail, but a shield that prevents darkness from dominating your inner self. Ask yourself, will you retreat before the abyss, or will you rise as one born to shine in dark territories? If you've come this far, choose to fight, for your destiny calls you to govern the light. This message is not a superficial comfort. It is a cry that shakes your foundations, reminding you that the pain of the past does not define your future. The demon tried to dig into your wounds to dominate you, but it failed. Now, surrendered to the power emanating from your soul, it bows because it recognizes that no evil artifice can defeat faith rooted in the sacred. With every stumble, you rose stronger. With every fall, you learned to protect your inner light. If you still doubt, remember, your presence here is proof that there is an intense call echoing in your chest. Use your pain as fuel and do not fear the shadows, for your destiny is to rise in authority. At this very moment, every beat of your heart whispers that there is no time to waste. Answer this call. Transform every wound into strength, for even evil bows before those born to win. Amid so many trials, you perceive a secret architecture in every obstacle. What seemed like punishment reveals itself as an opportunity for discovery, where pain refines your spirit and expands your courage. This demon did not appear by chance. It embodies your fears and the projection of uncertainties that demanded resolution. In the confrontation between shadow and your essence, a spark emerges, inviting you to take full responsibility for your story. At this moment, you awaken to the fact that your weapons are not merely human, but divine, nourished by the faith that grows with every attempt at defeat. The darker the night, the more valuable the inner flame. The enemy's failure highlights a truth. You were not born to chain yourself to fear, but to break shackles and illuminate the invisible. Everything follows a higher design. You may wonder why a simple spiritual confrontation would have such power to shake your foundations. The answer emerges when you realize that the outer shadows echo inner insecurities, pleading for light. The demon failed because, unknowingly, it spurred you to seek the unbreakable strength latent in your chest. Every doubt, every anguish, became an opportunity to go beyond appearances and dive into your essence. Now, there is no room for half-truths, for the flame of discernment expands your vision. What once held you captive has lost its meaning. For you have discovered that faith was never an abstraction, but a living shield. When darkness encounters genuine conviction, it retreats, revealing the latent power every being carries. And in this moment, your conviction becomes a crown of light. Stay firm. There are moments when the world collapses and salvation seems impossible, but it is precisely there that the divine manifests with the greatest intensity. You discover that by facing your fears, you release a brilliance capable of disarming any dark attack. Pain is no longer punishment, but a portal to your inner strength. This demon found no gap to win because, even staggering, you decided to bet everything on the living faith pulsating within you. Many times, doubt tried to suffocate your heart, but it was unable to extinguish the torch lit by truth. In the end, shadow only exists where light is lacking, and you chose to illuminate every corner of your being. Thus, evil bows, for it finds itself powerless before those who refuse to crawl in darkness. Rise now and embrace your true strength. With every challenge overcome, your spiritual sensitivity expands, enabling you to see that the external enemy reflects battles fought within your own soul. Understanding this, you release the bonds of the past and reconcile with your fragmented parts. There is no greater power than that which emerges from a unified heart, free from old weights and open to renewal. The demon failed because, with every blow, it inadvertently reinforced the unbreakable walls of your faith. It is in daily life, in acts of love and compassion, that the sacred materializes. Dark threats are worthless before those who have embraced the purpose of radiating light. Now, your gaze crosses the horizon with the certainty that darkness is but a step toward a great inner ascension. Your steps no longer walk in uncertainty. They resonate with the authority of one who knows the truth, dwelling within their chest. Everything around you begins to conspire in favor of those who live in harmony with faith. For even chaos serves as a lesson. You realize that the apparent defeats of the past were, in fact, an initiation. The universe was refining your soul for the day you would resist the touch of shadows. The demon, a representative of opposing forces, became a catalyst for your great turnaround. With every attempt to corrupt you, it inadvertently raised a mirror reflecting the divine potential within you. Faced with such awakening, nothing remains but the surrender of evil. And when evil surrenders, the message spreads. All who choose the light will find superhuman strength to rise. It is at this moment that you embrace not only a personal victory, but a collective purpose. Your triumph over the demon is not a trophy to be displayed alone. It symbolizes hope for all who live oppressed. Seeing you standing, they glimpse the possibility of transcending their own fears. And so, the act of subduing darkness expands in waves of courage, inspiring hearts around you. The story of the chosen one who made a demon bow echoes as a beacon for those who feel trapped. Every soul that rises promotes a change in the great web of life, breaking cycles of oppression. Now, you realize that your calling does not end with this test. It expands, inviting you to lead, teach, and heal. And it is on this path that the divine essence reveals its full splendor. Now that you recognize the greatness of your calling, something profound emerges in your heart. Every challenge overcome removed veils that hid secrets about your strength. The prostrate demon symbolizes the failure of the voices that denied your worth. This awakening does not serve you alone, but radiates courage around you, opening portals for other souls to rise. At this point, the divine becomes tangible, and darkness surrenders. It is not arrogance to feel grand now. It is proof that your essence has always been immense. You faced your fears, and every scar gained value. When victory comes, it is not just yours, but sows light for all. Thus, trials become testimonies of living faith, and no evil power can prevail where light reigns. As you advance, you feel the call to share your light with others still groping in the darkness. This movement is not limited to words, but manifests in concrete acts of empathy, healing, and forgiveness. The demon, now humiliated, reveals an unexpected dimension. Even the shadow plays a role in the awakening of courageous souls. Every person who crosses your path notices the change in your gaze, a glow that confirms that faith is not empty theory, but living force. When you recall the sleepless nights and the fear that once paralyzed you, you understand that true victory is internal. The chains that imprisoned your heart have been broken, and what remains is the certainty that it is possible to rise and shine despite any barrier. Every moment of doubt faced along the journey served as a warning sign, pointing to areas that needed healing. The demon exposed wounds that seemed dormant, but by confronting them, you discovered you were not alone. There is a greater presence, sustaining your steps, nourishing your faith, and expanding your horizons. When darkness roars, it is because it senses the arrival of authentic light. Thus, fear is merely a test for those already forged in perseverance. Everything that once suffocated you gives way to the understanding that every fall served to lift you stronger. Now, you rise as the guardian of your own story, with the humility to recognize that true power comes from above, and that no challenge is greater than awakened faith. Just observe how many times your prayers were answered in silence, when all seemed lost. The same power that invaded your being in that dark hour remains alive, fueling your conviction that nothing is impossible for those who believe. Seeing the demon bow, you realize that not even dark forces can surpass the limits imposed by light. This episode invites you to revisit every fragment of insecurity and, instead of fearing it, embrace it as part of your growth process. The more your consciousness expands, the more you understand that there is no real change without confrontation. And it was in this confrontation that your soul matured, emerging renewed and able to perceive the subtleties of divine plans. Every trial is a furnace where unshakable faith is forged. Understanding the reasons behind every trial does not mean the absence of pain, but offers the key to enduring it with purpose. You carry a sacred heritage, even if you cannot yet name it, for every fresh start reflects the divine strength that keeps you standing. When the creature of darkness succumbed to your light, something within you aligned with the eternal. It was as if the pieces of a forgotten puzzle suddenly fit together, revealing that faith and courage are inseparable sisters. Fear may knock at your door, but your heart has already proven it does not surrender to the lies that paralyze. By choosing truth, you open the way for grace to manifest in all your gestures, making even the simplest step sacred. Do not underestimate the magnitude of what has just happened within you. It is as if the universe itself pulsed in unison with your heart, celebrating the defeat of every voice that tried to diminish you. This echo of victory reverberates not only in your chest, but extends to the environments you inhabit, transforming gazes and igniting dormant souls. Your testimony rises, proving that faith is not a vague concept, but a living presence in the heart of every being who surrenders to a greater purpose. If you once felt abandoned, today you recognize that you were never alone. The divine touch permeates every minute, and now even your silence speaks of hope. When a demon bows, it means the light has fulfilled its role of illuminating truths. Once unreachable, crossing this dimension of internal struggle brings forth in you a deep yearning to expand this light, touching hearts that, like yours, have bled. The power of active faith is then observed. It is not content to be a private flame, but becomes a beacon that shines over unknown paths. When the demon fell before your conviction, your eyes opened to the possibility that goodness is not as fragile as many assume. On the contrary, it clothes your soul with a strength capable of breaking ancestral chains. You become the guardian of your own story and, at the same time, a channel of grace for others. Horizons broaden, and the darkness, once threatening, now serves as a backdrop where your light can manifest with even greater splendor. Upon freeing yourself from the yoke of darkness, you awaken to the nobility of serving as a messenger of hope. Your victories are not private trophies. They resonate in the fields of the collective unconscious, inspiring those still dwelling in the valley of uncertainty. The humiliation of evil attests that when a person reaffirms their covenant with the sacred, the entire fabric of the universe vibrates in response. In this context, the struggle is not merely individual. It initiates transformations around you, radiating courage to those willing to listen. You become a divine instrument, a beacon for those seeking refuge in the dark night of the soul. Each of your steps echoes in other stories, creating intersections of healing that expand the understanding that we never walk alone, even on the darkest paths. Perhaps you question what future tests may arise. Indeed, the spiritual journey does not promise the absence of challenges, but the awareness you've gained now changes everything. When a demon bows, it does not mean evil has disappeared forever, but that it has lost the power to dominate those who have discovered their own magnitude. Storms will come, but you no longer bend as before. Your faith, now tested and concrete, acts as an anchor amidst any chaos. The memory of the defeated shadow strengthens your chest, reminding you that the connection to the source surpasses any evil arsenal. And so, each new test will merely be a stage to demonstrate that light is alive and renews itself whenever it finds a heart willing to shine. On this journey, you understand that you cannot revert to your old way of seeing the world. The torn veil reveals subtle dimensions where the invisible becomes tangible through the fruits of your faith. Seeing a demon prostrate does not give you reasons for personal pride, but rather a moral obligation to direct your brilliance toward the common good. Your story then becomes an open book, its pages inspiring readers to confront their own darkness. There is no denying it. From this point on, you are a significant influence on those who witness your journey. Your words and actions carry weight, for they bear the vibration of one who faced shadows without hesitation. And thus, you move forward as the guardian of a light that no one can overshadow. Finally, each beat of your heart reaffirms the bond forged with the transcendent. What once frightened you now serves as a reminder that even darkness can surrender to the power of strengthened faith. No misfortune becomes definitive when you know the source of true strength. Now, the past does not present itself as a ghost, but as part of a greater narrative, where your defeats shaped today's triumph. The strength to rise again is eternally linked to the seed of the divine that germinates within every being. If a demon fell at your feet, it is a sign that you not only overcame a specific test, but broke internal barriers that contained your greatness. And this is only the beginning of a dawn that promises to illuminate many other paths. Reaching this point of understanding awakens in you a sense of an even greater purpose. Each stage conquered did not isolate you. Instead, it wove deep bonds with the sacred. The demon, once feared, has become a sign that the darkest trials cannot silence the light burning within. Now, every gesture of yours reverberates in the atmosphere around you, for true internal victory expands without limits. The impulse to share your experience does not arise from vanity, but as an act of generosity. Many still grope in the shadows, and you, who have seen the face of evil prostrate, can point the way to liberation, engaging in prayers, caring for your words and thoughts. All of this helps keep the divine spark alive that sustains you in the most turbulent phases. Every whisper of hope echoes through the infinite, reminding you that it is in the desert that miracles bloom. Inspired by this new perspective, you realize that the victory achieved should not be kept silent. It carries a call to inspire other travelers lost in dark valleys. Your testimony is not just a record of achievements, but a living manual of overcoming. The kneeling demon is not a display of pride, but a reminder that negative forces cannot withstand those who cultivate the flame of faith. This flame is fueled by the awareness that every stumble reveals valuable lessons, preparing souls willing to evolve. Thus, you become an instrument of healing for those who observe you. Welcoming, listening, and encouragement become bridges for other lives to flourish. And as you extend your hands, you yourself receive the grace of understanding the depth of divine love that permeates everything. Your heart now vibrates at the frequency of miracles, for when a demon bows, something sublime awakens within you. It is not presumption. It is an affirmation that light prevails where there is sincere surrender. Every prayer, every reflection, every step toward the sacred has forged an invisible armor that protects you from the assaults of darkness. More than that, it makes you capable of bringing comfort to those who suffer, of breathing hope into those drowning in insecurity. That dormant faith is reborn vigorous, reminding you that nothing is impossible for those who believe in greater providence. Now, you are not content to watch others' battles from afar, but place yourself in service, knowing that individual victory gains meaning when shared with the collective. Every gesture is a seed of light. Even so, do not deceive yourself into thinking every obstacle will vanish. The spiritual path is full of constant lessons, testing the coherence between what you profess and how you live. However, from the moment evil kneels, you understand that your dignity is not fragile. It rests on eternal foundations, sustained by bonds with the divine source. The memory of the day you conquered terror grows as a pillar against doubt. This experience becomes a living force that rests not on theories, but on concrete proofs of overcoming. And so, every breath becomes an invitation to remain awake, to not waste the insights gained through pain. The true chosen one embraces constant progress, understanding that the light shines ever brighter. You will gradually feel that the grace achieved transcends the individual and overflows into all areas of your life. Old cycles of negativity give way to new possibilities, for the energy once consumed by despair now fuels projects and dreams. And when others see in you a living example of resilience, they connect to the same source that lifted you. the humiliated demon becomes a milestone of a time when miracles are not distant tales, but tangible reality for those who open themselves to faith. Every word that leaves your lips carries the vibration of one who has crossed the dark valley and survived. The scars, once a source of shame, now highlight the story of overcoming that proclaims, "If you could win, so can many others." Watching this consciousness grow in your soul illuminates not only your path, but that of countless pilgrims who share the same thirst for truth. As you contemplate the image of the kneeling demon, you understand that no darkness can stop a person who has united with the divine without reservation. And if there are still remnants of doubt, remember that your life is already living proof of providence. Every breath brings new momentum to move forward. Every heartbeat renews the commitment to serve the light. Thus, you cease to be merely an individual and become an active part of a broader sacred plan. The barriers that arise will never be greater than the power that sustains you, for trust in the source prevents you from reverting to the old state of fear. All these experiences reinforce that there is no victory without confrontation, no peace without a storm overcome. The demon may return to lurk, but you are now armed with unshakable certainties. The faith that once seemed fragile has proven unbreakable. Even if the external world seems to crumble, your spirit remains steadfast, aware that an invisible hand guides your steps. This perception brings humility, for you recognize that your triumph was not isolated. It was the result of divine support that never fails. Those who see darkness bow learn to look at life from a new perspective, freeing themselves from the limits of fear. And in this new outlook, each day is an opportunity to honor the light within you, reminding the universe that darkness only occupies space where faith has not yet been proclaimed. As the journey progresses, the certainty of your inner strength solidifies. With every trial overcome, you realize that genuine faith is not an abstract concept, but a firmness that reverberates in all areas of your life. No problem can overshadow the brilliance of one who has awakened to the truth. The memory of the demon bowing before your light fuels the determination to press on. Even as new obstacles arise, every particle of your being understands the value of walking with purpose and confidence. Hope ceases to be a utopia and becomes a real companion, sustaining your steps. Thus, you move forward as a fearless pilgrim, aware that divine grace resides in every beat of your heart and neutralizes the assaults of evil. For those who embrace the light, always overcome limits with faith. When you fully embrace the potential that once lay dormant in your chest, you realize that old fears were merely shadows cast by rootless doubts. The creature that once threatened now symbolizes a stage surpassed, and its defeat proves that inner light is sovereign where conviction reigns. This triumph does not negate the existence of problems, but changes how you face them. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity for evolution. Spirituality ceases to be theory and becomes daily practice, nourishing your mind and spirit. True power is not displayed. It is revealed in acts of love, perseverance, and humility. Thus, the chains of fear break, and nothing can stop those who have discovered that faith is not an accessory, but the foundation that sustains every step toward a greater purpose. Experiencing this state of consciousness, you understand that the journey continues in cycles of learning, but never returns to the previous point of vulnerability. The demon that bowed before your faith serves as a definitive reminder that light conquers spaces once dominated by hesitation. Now, your presence radiates a vigor that transcends words, strengthening those who cross your path. Love for the sacred blossoms in your gestures and thoughts, making every interaction a path of healing and renewal. No obstacle can erase the memory of this spiritual triumph, for it marks the soul with unshakable hope. And if, by chance, dense clouds form again, you will move forward aware that a greater force sustains you, guiding you even through the darkest valleys. Each day, you prove that the greatest battle is not against external beings, but against the limitations that insist on chaining the heart. By winning this inner war, you also assume the role of a beacon for other souls stumbling in the twilight. The subdued demon attests that no evil prospers where the divine seed has been well cultivated. Therefore, your story ceases to be solely yours and becomes a living sign of infinite possibilities. A single spark of courage is enough for the inner flame to expand, illuminating paths once hidden. This invitation echoes for all. Trust that grace manifests in those who accept the challenge to believe in victory, even when everything seems to crumble. Thus, your steps create a trail that many can follow, free from the yoke of darkness. This is the pinnacle of a journey where faith solidified in practice, overcoming every insinuating whisper of defeat. If evil ever returns to prowl, it finds a spirit conscious of the supreme truth, shielded by endless love. You did not need to annihilate the darkness. You only had to confront it and prove that a steadfast heart never bends. Thus, the cycle of fear ends, and a new chapter begins, governed by the conviction that nothing can subjugate those who take refuge in the light. Every inner battle won reverberates in external peace, and the world becomes less hostile for those who choose to see it through the eyes of the sacred. By ending this struggle, you do not emerge as a mere victor, but as an agent of change, inspiring others to rise and discover that where faith dwells, the impossible surrenders. We have reached the end of this encounter, but your journey is just beginning. May every victory recounted here be your strength to face the new challenges life brings. For you now carry living proof that faith can subdue any shadow. If these words have ignited a spark of hope in you, do not hesitate to acknowledge it. Click the like button below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell to stay updated on future revelations. Share this video and leave a comment sharing how this message spoke to your heart, for your experience may inspire others seeking to break their chains. I deeply thank every supporter of this journey. If you wish to contribute further, consider supporting us through our Buy Me a Coffee link, pinned in the first comment. Your help makes all the difference in ensuring this light continues to reach more lives. And before you go, don't forget to check out the recommended video on the screen or dive into the playlist of the Secrets of the Chosen Ones, for there is much more to uncover. Stay firm, confident, and full of purpose. We will meet again soon, and may God bless you.